Evening. We have a Ways and Means Subcommittee scheduled for 6:10 p.m. I'm the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, and with me this evening is Councilor from Ward 2, Pauline Cormier. The other member has had to abstain. I'm going to read the notice of the Committee of the Whole meeting, that it's posted in the event that a quorum of City Councilors is present at the Standing Committee meeting. If less than a quorum of the City Council is present, no Committee of the Whole meeting shall take place. If a quorum is present, any such meeting shall be restricted to the Standing Committee agenda items listed above. The one item we have is 41-26, Jenny's Helping Hand Incorporated. Request to renew the license to deal with secondhand articles at 52 Mechanic Street, Leominster. We have an application here that was received on February 26th. And with the application, the city clerk now automatically makes referrals to the treasurer and collector's office, as well as the police department. We have gotten this application's request from the city collector, but we did not get the police chiefs yet. I did speak earlier in the day to the clerk to ask her about the police chief's recommendation, the police department's recommendation, and she has not received anything as of yet. So I asked her to reach out again and let me know by the end of the day if she heard anything, and I have heard nothing. So I'm going to ask for further time on 41-26 to make sure that we have all of the referrals in order before we move forward, and I'll ask the other member if she wants to weigh in.
I agree.
Okay. Are there any other questions or comments from anyone? If not, I'll ask for a motion from the other member to close the Ways and Means Subcommittee meeting.
I will make that motion.
Okay, and 41-26 is given further time, and the Ways and Means Committee is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Time is now 6:15 PM. This is a public hearing for petition 38-26, Massachusetts Electrical Company doing business as National Grid and Verizon New England, Inc. Request permission to locate poles, wires, and fixtures, including the necessary sustaining and protecting fixtures, along and across the following public way. Marguerite Ave, National Grid to install one jointly owned pole on Marguerite Ave beginning at a point approximately 115 feet south of the center line of the intersection of Marguerite Ave and Lincoln Terrace. Install one midspan pole, pole 20-50 for new capacitor bank. Location approximately is shown on plan attached, wherefore it prays that after due notice and hearing as provided by law, it be granted a location for and permission to erect and maintain poles and wires, together with such sustaining and protecting fixtures as it may find necessary, said poles to be erected substantially in accordance with the plan filed herewith, marked Marguerite Ave, Leominster, Massachusetts, number 305-27234, January 19th, 2026. Also for permission to lay and maintain underground laterals, cables, and wires in the above or intersecting public ways for the purpose of making connections with poles and buildings as each of said petitioners may desire for distributing purposes. Do we have anyone here tonight from National Grid to speak on petition 38-26? Great.
I am here, but I don't understand.
Oh, no, sure. I'm sorry, ma'am, at this point, I was just asking if anyone from National Grid was here. It doesn't appear that they are. But if anyone from the public is here to speak for or against petition 38-26, you may certainly come to the podium.
Well, I would like to know where they put the wire, where they put the pole. I don't know. I don't understand everything.
Sure, and I understand that. I have a piece of paper and a pen. If I can just take your name and your number, your contact information, I'll make that connection. Usually National Grid is here and they would be able to answer your questions.
I just want to show the paper then.
Sure, I understand, but it doesn't appear that National Grid is here this evening, unfortunately. So why don't I take your information, and I'm going to try to connect you so that you can get your questions answered. Okay?
Your name and your address? I live in Leominster. I can show you this thing here. Sure. That's the land, my land. I don't know where they put it, so I don't want nothing on my land.
I understand that, but unfortunately, I don't work for National Grid. So what I can do is if you just give me your name and your phone number and your address, I will try to get your questions answered for you, okay? If you could just write that down for me, thank you. I'm sorry you came all the way out and they weren't here this evening.
I just want to know. I don't understand.
I understand. I know. We'll make sure your questions get answered. And what's your address?
Councilor Noseworthy, we can have the clerk get in touch with National Grid and get in touch with the
Perfect,
woman.
thank you. Thank you. Just getting her address and her phone number.
I have a question.
We will be we're going to be getting to the public forum in just a second. We're a little bit out of order here for the moment.
Apologies. And what is your phone number, ma'am?
978-534-23.
Okay. I will reach out to you and make sure you have your questions answered, okay? I'm sorry you came out.
All I want to know is
I understand. I understand.
I'm going to get this. Is that the gentleman from National Grid that just came in?
No, it's Luke.
Yeah, that's Luke.
Oh, that's I didn't. I just saw a baseball cap go by. That's all.
No, I don't believe so. Is there anyone else here that would like to speak for or against petition 38-26? Okay, go ahead, take the,
Now to the podium.
yes, to the podium.
State your name and address and.
Good evening. My name's Michael Belcher. I'm here for Modern Dispersions. The property is owned by JK Realty and Holdings. And so the piece of property is 107-20. And we have no real obligation about the pole going in. It's just that there is a fenced off area and there's a gate there, and we just would like to make sure that that pole does not get put in front of the gate so that we can access the gate and get in and out of the gated area.
Sure, thank you.
There are 2 stakes that are on the ground there, but they're not like secured in the ground, so I don't know if plow truck moved them or something, or if they're where they're located right now, they'd be fine.
Sure.
So I took some pictures, whether that matters or not, but just want to make sure that the pole doesn't get in front of the gate.
Understood. Yes, unfortunately, as you heard, National Grid isn't here tonight, so we'll make sure we get your information
Okay.
and, get you in touch. I'll give you this as well.
Sure.
I wrote down your name and the address. If you could just,
I have a business card. You'd rather just do
perfect,
that?
even easier.
Has National Grid spoken to you at all?
Thank you. It's okay, be honest.
Sort of. I spoke to the engineer today, Mohammed.
When you say today, because you reached out to them or they reached out to you?
Yeah.
I called like 10 different people trying to figure this out, and some of you have been very helpful giving me some
This
information.
appears
I
to
talked
be
the
a-
assessor's office.
Yeah,
This is a recurring issue.
Yeah,
This is a recurring
we've been a
issue.
little
bunch of finger
concerned.
pointing as to who had the answers to the question. but
We've
the
been a little
assessor's office did
concerned
a very
because
good
they're
job.
not talking to the neighborhoods that they're proposing things.
We
and-
originally got the wrong map, and that's what was the question.
Ah.
So, but-
Well, I have your information, and the clerk is going to be reaching out to National Grid. Like I said, as you've heard, they're not here this evening, but we will make sure that you get connected and you get your questions answered.
okay, so good to go.
Well, for now, yes.
Yeah.
Until we make the connection with National Grid.
Nothing will be passed
Yes,
until we
nothing
get
will be
answers from
passed.
them.
No,
Got it.
not at all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Evening, my name is Eric Hansen. I'm the owner of the Auto Shower Car Wash on the corner of Lancaster and Marguerite. I'm less concerned about the pole and about this last paragraph about the laying and maintaining the underground laterals. Will we be notified for the next meeting regarding this?
Well, you should have been, National Grid should have reached out to you as well. So I'm going to do you have a business card with you by any chance?
I don't have one.
Okay, I'm going to give you this so you can write down your name, address, and phone number, and we'll make sure that you're connected with National Grid.
Did you get an abutters notice?
I got, yes.
Yep.
Okay. For a third and last time, is there anyone else that would like to speak for or against petition 38-26? Okay, seeing none, we're just going to get the information from this gentleman and we'll make sure to make the connections to National Grid. Looks like we'll be keeping this public hearing open.
Go to your committee members, see for their input.
Yeah, we should keep the public hearing open.
Yes. At-large Councilor Zephyr?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, sir. We'll make sure you get connected. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your patience there. So, yeah, it looks like we, I just don't know do we have to take a vote on that or that we're keeping it open? No? Okay, perfect. Okay, let's see. So it's 6:23. We'll see what the second petition brings. Again, this public hearing is for petition 39-26. Massachusetts National Electric Company, doing business as National Grid, requests permission to locate poles, wires, and fixtures, including the necessary and sustaining protecting fixtures, along and across the following public way: Marguerite Ave, Massachusetts Electric Company, doing business as National Grid, to install one singly owned pole on Marguerite Ave, beginning at a point approximately 197 feet west of the center line of the intersection of Marguerite Ave and Lancaster Street. Install one midspan pole, pole 259, for a future solar customer at 259 Lancaster Street. Location approximately is shown on plan attached. Wherefore it prays that after due notice and hearing as provided by law, it be granted a location for and permission to erect and maintain poles and wires together with such sustaining and protecting fixtures as it might find necessary, said poles to be erected substantially in accordance with the plan filed herewith marked, Marguerite Ave, Leominster, Massachusetts. Plan Number 305-27234, January 19th, 2026. Also for permission to lay and maintain underground laterals, cables, and wires in the above or intersecting public ways for the purpose of making connections with such poles and buildings as each of said petitioners may desire for distributing purposes. So we've already established the fact that National Grid is not here this evening. Is there anyone from the public who would like to speak for or against petition 39-26?
Madam Chair, I'm going to suggest that you go to your committee first before you go to the public
Oh, okay.
for comments.
I don't have any specific comments, but feel the same with the last petition. If National Grid's not here, we need to keep this open.
Thank you. At large, Councilor Seifert?
I don't have any further questions, so I'm good with further time.
Okay, perfect, thank you. So with that, we will recommend further time for petition 39-26.
Now you want to go to the public,
Okay.
after you've spoken to your committee.
Is there anyone in the public who would like to speak for or against petition 39-26? For a second time, is there anyone who would like to speak for or against petition 39-26? And for a third and final time, is there anyone who would like to speak for or against petition 39-26? Seeing none, I think we'll, as we said, keep the petition, the public hearing open.
Good evening, it's 6:30. This is a public hearing on 40-26 Pluto Cannabis Company Outlet, also known as Pluto Cannabis, seeks a special permit from the Leominster City Council to assume operational control of the existing operational adult-use marijuana establishment at 130 Pioneer Drive, currently operated by Revolutionary Clinics, in accordance with the City of Leominster zoning ordinance, Chapter 22, Article 18, marijuana facilities, Section 22-105. My name is Pauline Cormier. I'm the chairwoman of the Legal Affairs Committee. I'm joined this evening by Ward Councilor Eladio Romero, and to my right, Ward 3 Councilor David Cormier. I'm going to ask if there are anyone here from Pluto Cannabis who would like to step up. Gentlemen, you can take a seat at the table here.
Do you want me here at the table?
Whatever's more comfortable
Sure.
for you.
I prefer to stand.
That's fine.
If that's okay.
That's fine. I'm going to ask you to talk into the microphone. If you can please introduce yourself and the other gentlemen that are with you, and what your position is with cannabis, Pluto Cannabis.
Great. Thank you, Madam Chair. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. My name is Peter D'Agostino. I'm a partner at 10X Strategies, and we are here on behalf of Pluto Cannabis Co. I have a business card for the clerk also, just to save everybody the travel. Our address is 100 Franklin Street, Boston, Massachusetts. And again, I'll provide a business card for the record. Joining me is one of the owners, Umang Patel. The other owner, there's only two. The other owner is Ansh, and he unfortunately is in London, so he wasn't able to join us tonight. But they are the two owners. And then also my colleague, Ben Duke, from 10X Strategies. So those are members before you. Madam Chair, if I may, I think it would be helpful for the committee and the council at large to give a little bit of background how we got here. Would that be appropriate?
Certainly.
Okay, great. So as many, whether you may or may not know, but Revolutionary Clinics has been placed in receivership. A judge has appointed a receiver. That receiver has been approved by the Cannabis Control Commission to make decisions on behalf of Revolutionary Clinics. Subsequent to that, the receiver solicited bids for a future operator. Pluto Cannabis was selected by the receiver as the future operator. Pluto Cannabis has also been approved by the Cannabis Control Commission to take over ownership of I'm going to say the address rather, right? Because they're not taking over Rev Clinics, but they're taking over the location here in Leominster.
Okay.
So the receivers approved them, the Cannabis Control Commission's approved them. All of that subject to your approval. So ultimately, right? But there's a lot of legal steps that happen before we get to this point. So that's just a very quick background. I'm happy to answer any questions about that. So Pluto Cannabis has been managing the business, or managing the location more appropriately, because they're not managing Rev Clinics. I just want to make that clear. They're an entirely separate entity. They've been managing the business for the last couple months, and I have just a couple of numbers that I thought the committee may find interesting. So in the receivership, had Pluto Cannabis not stepped in, this business would have closed, as you can imagine. And since their time, they've been able to maintain not only the existing staff that was there, but they've increased the staff by 25%. The significance of that is over that same time period, only as managers now, keep in mind once they own it, they'll be able to do more, they've been able to increase revenue 20%. The significance of that to the city is that the city receives a 3% excise tax on every transaction that occurs at a marijuana retailer within the city limits. So not only have we maintained that income that the city was previously receiving, or should have been receiving, I'll say, we've grown it 20% just in the last couple months. So the benefits really to the city are both the sustained employment, the growth in employment, the sustained revenue because the business didn't shut down, and the growth in revenue since Pluto Cannabis has taken over. We understand there were prior issues with the city when the prior operator. We have worked, I think, well to address those, both with specifically code enforcement and the police department. We've established open lines of communication. We've sent them all their documents. They've all made visits since Pluto Cannabis has been managing the business. And so we're feeling very good about that, and I'm sure you'll hear from them themselves. But from our end, we appreciate that communication. I think too, so that's just a nutshell of kind of the background, and then what's happened since Pluto stepped in just to manage the day-to-day operations until such time that the city council, if they so choose, approved the transfer of the special permit I'll talk just very quickly about next steps, with the assumption, just for a minute, that the City Council did approve the change of operator to the special permit. We would then close the transaction with the receiver and file that with both the court and the Cannabis Control Commission, and we would be done. So that's where we are in the process. This is quite literally, we have to do all these legal steps to appear before you. You make the final decision. If you decide yes, then we'll close the transaction and file the notices with the court and the Cannabis Control Commission. At that point, Pluto Cannabis would then become the owner of the facility.
Okay.
All right, so that's next steps. Talked a little bit about the history, the improvements to the site, as well as next steps. So next thing I think that would be appropriate, if I may, Madam Chair, is, do you want me to take questions on that first part before I go on?
I think we're good with questions.
Okay.
I'd rather have you go through and we can save our questions to the end.
Perfect, great. I just didn't want to keep going. So a little bit of background on Pluto Cannabis. Pluto Cannabis operates a store in Lynn, which was a similar situation. It wasn't in receivership, but that store had closed, and the city was looking for a new operator to come in and take it over and reinvigorate it. Pluto Cannabis was one of the folks that bid to take over that store in Lynn, and it has gone incredibly well. That store, they opened it, they ultimately received the approvals from the city and so on and so forth, and they opened that store in December of 2023, so just over 2 years ago. It's going incredibly well. We sent a letter to the city council very early on just to make you aware of our presence back in May. And I would like to include that letter as part of the record. You should have it anyway, but just in the event you don't. The significance of the letter is the city of Lynn was kind enough to submit a letter, I won't say in support, but speaking to their experience about Pluto Cannabis, in which the assistant city solicitor said that there have been no reports, I'm just reading from his letter, there have been no reports of a need for police assistance at the Lynn location during the time Pluto has operated in Lynn. As the attorney for the Licensing Commission, I would receive any such reports had they been generated. I'm aware of no facts that would cause me to be concerned about Pluto Cannabis to operate in any municipality in the Commonwealth. And that letter was signed by Assistant City Solicitor. So if I may, Madam Chair, I'd like to provide that to the committee.
Thank you.
And we have multiple copies available. And so the plan going forward for Pluto, so that's a little bit about who they are and their experience taking over operations, standing them back up. That store had shut all the way down. So they went from zero and they brought the store all the way back, hired all the employees, the whole 9 yards. This one was more of, let's maintain it before it fails and then try to grow it. And that's what they were able to do here. So future plans for Pluto would, as I mentioned, assuming all this gets approved, they would take over the ownership and they would look to continue to grow the business, continue to grow the staff there, and continue to provide revenue to the city through the excise tax.
Okay.
So that is it in a nutshell. I know it's a lot. As to the special permit, there is no mechanism within the city's bylaws to simply, what we call in other municipalities, change the petitioner, right? And so that's what facilitated the need to file an entire special permit. But just for clarity for the committee and the council, they're not requesting any changes to what the city previously approved, with the exception of the company who the special permit was issued to.
Okay.
And it's just, the reason you got the whole submittal is because there's no other mechanism to just
To do
change
that.
the company. So
Yeah.
that's why you received that, but just for the sake of clarity, that's the only thing we're requesting from the council.
Okay.
And that's it, Madam Chair. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay. I'm going to go first to the members of my committee. Councilor Romero.
Thank you for that presentation. It was very thorough and very organized. I appreciate that. And
It's a lot to communicate.
no, it was great. I do not have questions at this point in time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
Councilor Cormier.
Thank you. I don't have any questions. Sorry.
I don't have any questions at this moment. As we proceed a little further, I might have some questions for our code enforcement, but for right now, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, yes, thank you, Councilor.
Okay. Any other members of council? Councilor Bedanza.
My first question, I guess, is you're operating under the auspices of the receiver right now?
Essentially, yes, is the answer. So the receiver has approved them as the manager. So Revolutionary Clinics is still the entity. That entity, per the judge's orders, being managed by the receiver. The receiver approved these individuals to manage the day-to-day operations, but the receiver retains ultimate authority and control over the entity unequivocally. Yeah.
And if we approve this special permit, what's the mechanism is there a mechanism in place to end the receivership?
That would do it for the purposes of this location. So
per the court's guidance?
Correct, and as well as the Campus Control Commission. So the agreement has already been approved by the receiver, as well as the Cannabis Control Commission, which the mechanism under the state is a change of control application. All of that has been approved, and then we then have to go to the municipality and say, okay, now that we have this structure, are you all okay with it? If the city ultimately says yes, I believe it's 3 days. Is it 3 days or 5 days to close? I believe it's 3 days, so it's very, very quick. From the time that the city issues us a new special permit, we have 3 days to close the transaction and 10 days to notify the state.
And last question, under Revolutionary Clinics permit, do you know if there are any financial deficiencies to the city of Leominster currently?
My understanding, although I want to be careful not to speak for them, but my understanding is Revolutionary Clinics entered into a settlement agreement with the city to resolve their outstanding, whatever those were.
All right.
Yeah, so they don't carry over to the new entity. My understanding is that's been resolved.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Madam President.
First of all, let me commend you for doing an excellent job.
Thank you, Madam President.
We've had 3 facilities in the city of Leominster, 2 bankruptcies and 1 receivership.
Okay.
So we're very...
Hopefully we're going to do better than that.
Yes, and so far so good.
Right.
But one thing that I want to ensure, because it was a big part of the special permitting process, is that once a year you come before this council and you report to the council and give a financial report. It's in our ordinances, financial report, and just status of where you are once a year.
Great. And we're happy to do that. That's not a problem at all.
That was crucial with us. I think that's where we lost a little control on what was going on with the 3 properties. So
yeah, I'll speculate a little bit. So I've been doing this in Massachusetts since 2012. My firm in 2021 we expanded nationally, so we work in about 15 states. So I'll speculate a little bit. My guess is that there was a host community agreement that had some monetary consideration in it under the old law. And there was probably an agreement to come and report to you and make sure that was happening. So
we never got it, so we never had to pay it back. So that worked for us.
I guess maybe in hindsight, right? But we did work with KP Law. I work with Nicole in many municipalities, so we worked with Nicole in the mayor's office, and we have entered into a new host community agreement that is compliant with the Chapter 180 of the Acts of 2022, which amended the Mass General Law, Chapter 94G. So we do have a now compliant host community agreement, and we are happy to, first of all, we're going to fulfill all the obligations under that agreement, but the long and short of it is the city would be reimbursed for any direct expenses. They provide us a receipt at the end of the year and we have to pay the bill. So it's slightly different than it was before, but that's, as you noted, is largely because of a legislative change. What didn't change and what remains a benefit to the city is the excise tax. So the city, and I don't know that you were receiving that either, but nonetheless.
6 months worth, I believe.
Yeah, maybe. So, but what I can tell you is how they've performed in Lynn, right? The only thing I can really point to is how they've performed in Lynn, and they've made all their payments to DOR. They have a letter of good standing from the Commonwealth and Department of Revenue, which means the city's receiving all of their revenue as well. So happy to do the annual report to the council. And answer any questions at that time, that you would have. But it is a much different relationship, and we're appreciative of that.
And I think that it's not so much, it's just to keep it in check.
Absolutely.
Know that, you're doing well, we're doing well because you're doing well, and
sure.
And it works.
And one thing I'll tell you, and code enforcement, I know they're here this evening, I'll let them speak for themselves, but anything that comes up, we just get a call. and it says, hey, what's going on, what happened, whatever the case may be. So that communication is going to prevent it from getting out of control and 12 months later come back telling the council things didn't go well. And same with police. There was documents they had requested previously they never received. I think we got them to them in about 2 weeks, and they've been able to now review everything. So like I said, it'll be a much different experience for the city. Still happy to do the annual meeting, but I think we'll have many more touch points throughout the year than just the one report to the council every year.
And we also have a code enforcement officer now who is paying attention to the details, so.
Absolutely.
We all learned a little bit from the beginning,
Sure.
so.
Great. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Madam Chair, I'm fine.
Councilor Shalfo Zephyr.
I think this question is for Mr. Patel. How long have you been managing the Revolutionary Clinic location?
We took over end of.
You gotta.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
We took over end of May of last year.
Oh, okay, so almost a year.
Yep, almost a year.
Okay, and in that time, you've been able to increase revenue, is it revenue or profit?
Revenue 20% and employment 25%.
Okay. In terms of the revenue, I mean, is that because your sales are bigger? I mean, are you moving more product, or is it?
Yeah, so we increased our inventory significantly. We've been trying to market a little bit better, but those are two main reasons. And we have a long way to go in terms of marketing and community outreach.
So this would be the second operation that that your company is?
Correct. Yep,
managing
second
and owning?
operation.
Okay.
Correct, yep.
All right, good, thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Dang, Madam Council.
Good.
Just to follow, how long have you been open in Lynn?
December 2023.
Okay. And things are still going well in Lynn?
Yep, things are going great.
Okay. Any other members of the council have any questions? Okay, seeing none.
Before we go to the public, Madam Chair, may I just
Sure.
ask a question? Procedurally, I see we're on the agenda later this evening.
Yes.
Is it the intent of the committee to forward it to the council for the agenda later tonight?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll stay for that, for any questions that may come up?
Certainly, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then if I could, I'll provide the letter in my business card. Is that okay?
Certainly.
Okay, and I'll just give it to one of the committee members.
Yeah. Let me just get that to the clerk, please.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Councilor Shalfo Zephyr, yes.
Yeah, thank you. Question. Do we have referrals back from the police department?
I
and
don't
fire
have them.
department?
I
don't recall seeing them, that's why I'm asking, because I could have missed them, but I just haven't seen them.
Yes, I don't have them. I don't recall if they've come in. We do have the one from Luke Bolak.
Right.
We do have from Brian Riley, KP Law, and I haven't seen any of the other referrals
Come back.
back yet.
Madam Chair, I believe we submitted an email from the police department as part of the packet, but I can look for that while public comments happen,
Certainly.
and I'll confirm whether or not
I
that's...
just read John Freya's letter today, so I know he's in here.
I think we also requested one from the planning board too. Is that what I have in my notes?
Yes.
And nothing from them yet either, right?
So we don't have planning.
Fire.
Planning, fire, and police, I haven't seen anything.
Okay. If you want to look at that.
I will. I'll
look
see
for
if
that, and
we,
can see if we can
I'll see
pull
if we
that
have that
together.
email. Yeah.
I'm going to open it up to the public. Is there anybody in the public who would like to speak on this petition? That's 40-26 Pluto Cannabis Company. And for a second time, is there any member from the public who would like to speak? There he is.
Good evening.
Hi, Lee. We all know you, but would you introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Luke Bolak, Code Enforcement for the City of Leominster. I've been actually working with Tenax and Pluto Cannabis for a while now here to try to get them situated to where they need to go. For one, CD Services, which was Revolutionary Clinics, that was their quote-unquote parent LLC. When they went to David Madoff was the receiver. Once David Madoff went into the receivership, they had notified me that they had gone into receivership and that they were on the hunt. This has probably been going on, I would say, probably about a year now. Eventually, David finally reached out after we got all the ordinances situated on the city side, meaning we've got the key holders, management team, essentially everything that's stated in 22-105 of our zoning ordinance. They came forth, brought everything to us. And I believe I may have a copy of their financials from 2023. The 2024 was never submitted, or 2025. Once, obviously 2025 has just ended, they probably wouldn't have those yet as of right this minute anyways. Last year, Tenex reached out, said, hey, Attorney Madoff has put us as a receiver, put us as a potential buyer for the company. It's great. Here you guys go. You guys got a bunch of stuff. I would say within 2 weeks to a month, they had everything here in front of us, everything that you guys have, everything that they presented. And then they went through the site plan through Elizabeth, and then went through essentially everything else that needed to be taken care of. Everything looks great. Everything is doing the same exact way as Revolutionary did. Still have a security vault, still have the 24-hour, 360-degree monitoring, still have the vaults inside. Everything's on the rollaway cards per 935 CMR 500, which is the Cannabis Control Commission's Code of Massachusetts regulations. Essentially, everything is ready to go. So they've done a pretty good job. I looked into them with the City of Lynn. City of Lynn is numbers have continuously gone up in revenue as far as their excise tax goes. So they got to be doing something right. I mean, I'm in favor of this as far as from what I'm gathering through here. So.
Thank you, Luke. Does anybody have any specific questions for Luke?
I do.
Sure.
Councilor Cormier?
Thank you very much, Luke.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that, I question is, based on your experience and, your knowledge now of dealing in the subject matter, I know you've taken some courses.
I have.
Are there any conditions that you would like to see us put on the special permit? And then we can have that discussion, and our attorney's here, we can make sure we can, that anything you may want for a condition is legal, and we can hash that out here too.
Honestly, I check in, I go in at random. Mr. Patel can let you know. I've met with him a couple times on site when he was there. I go in there half hour, go walk through everything, make sure everything's hunky-dory and kosher, and make sure that, if I notice anything that's Cannabis Control Commission controlled, if I see a deficiency on their end of things, obviously I let them know, and then say, hey, look, you guys aren't following this. And I notify the Cannabis Control Commission, obviously, as a courtesy to them, and say, hey, look, you might want to look into this. They really haven't had anything. Looking through their site plan, the last go-around, when Rev first opened is actually when I first started in this job. Their exterior site plan, as far as everything went well. But to get back to this, I think probably maybe every 3 months, just kind of check in, get an update as far as new key holders, any new employees that need to be on the radar. Obviously, they have to go through the process of getting their IDs through the Cannabis Commission. But at the same time, having that notification to the PD and the fire department to say, hey, look at these guys are in here now versus this person. So I think might be a good idea just to check in. And then once the end of the year rolls, January 30th is a D-Day as far as their financials go to City Council. So.
Okay. Any other?
So you're asking that we put conditions on there that they go in.
Every couple months.
Our code enforcement can go in there every 3 months, like quarterly.
Yeah, going quarterly.
Okay.
It's kind of what I do. I do that with a lot of our different businesses anyways right now.
And I like the idea, and this thought was actually on my mind when Madam President had mentioned about once a year. My thought was that we impose like a date, like by a certain date, after the beginning of the year, you have 30 days or till the end of March or some date, so that it's not just this open-ended, we can come in January one year and then not till like November the next, and it's almost 2 years, not a year. So I think you're suggesting January 30th they should have.
Under our ordinance, 22-105, I think it's 105.6, I think is what it is, but just kind of going off the top of my head. In there, it actually states that they have to submit everything by January 30th. To begin with, that's actually already written in our ordinance, the date.
So they have to submit it by then. So maybe then we should ask them to meet with us by, the end of March or something.
Yep.
To go over all of it.
Might not be a bad idea. Definitely. I mean, I have a lot of faith in these guys. I mean, they're hands-on operators. Okay. Lim was telling me that they're very community-oriented, very hands-on with it all, so, which is great, considering they're not big giant investors, they're small business owners.
And Luke, do you know, I don't know how much of these documents you've reviewed, but when we initially gave this permit, because it's kind of changing hands. It's not a brand new, it's changing hands. So were there any original conditions put on this? I could look back too and do some research, but I just didn't know if you knew offhand. Because if I'm not mistaken, we put some conditions on all these permits when we issued them.
I think I have a copy of the original permitting from when we first did it. I'd have to review it, but I remember most of it was focused on the financial aspect, the host agreements, making sure they're up to par, and making sure that we had all the applicable names and phone numbers of owners, operators, and who was managing and running the facility.
Okay. Okay, I'm good for now, Madam
Okay.
Chair. Thank you.
Councillor Shalfo Zephyr.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Patel, so this location is a retail operation, right? Is that the same of your Lynn facility?
Yes.
And do
same.
you have any plans to expand into a growth? Do you want to add growth, marijuana growth to your business
Not
plan?
at the moment. We want to keep it adult use, retail only.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other councillors have any questions?
I think just to add to that, Luke, I think if there's a change in ownership, or a change in any of the board or the corporate members, then that has to be reported to us as well.
Correct.
Yes, Madam President. Certainly, just as we're here before you tonight, they wouldn't be able to operate without the updating of a special permit. I think this was slightly different just because we had a judge involved and a receiver, and the receiver was working with the city initially prior to our involvement, as Luke just mentioned. So. But certainly, we'd be happy to make that a condition of the approval. Just for clarity for the council, it is also a condition of the newly signed host community agreement. So if you want belts and suspenders, completely comfortable with that. But we have already agreed to that with the city, through the mayor's
I
office
think
as well.
those were two of the main things initially.
Yeah.
Was the financial reporting
Yeah.
on a annual basis. And, it's and this doesn't apply to you, but it's great to say this is the law and this is the ordinance, and if you don't abide by it, well, we spent a number of years trying to chase people who didn't abide by it.
Right,
So it
sure.
cost us money going to court.
Yeah.
So
I would mention that we're going to comply with the code no matter what. The financial reporting to the council has significantly less importance now, given that the host community agreement isn't tied to the financial performance of the store because of the amendment to the law. So we're happy to do it. I don't, just for the sake of having, just coming to see everybody and touching base. I just don't want the council to feel as though it's going to generate something that doesn't exist anymore, right?
no, I think it's solvency more than anything.
From that point, I agree.
And that was our intent, I believe,
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Yeah, I completely agree from that perspective. Absolutely.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
I have another question for Mr. D'Agostino. How long can you operate the way you're operating now before, you either get a decision from us to move forward, or I'm assuming you're going to have to cease at some point?
As long as we mutually agree to extend through the receiver, the parties would have to mutually agree to extend our operation of the facility. I'm not aware of the judge imposing a deadline. There is a deadline in the agreement that, that's subject to mutual extension.
Okay.
So we do have, I'm not aware of a court order, but I am aware of an agreement that I believe is April.
Okay.
So, our relationship with the receiver has been very good. Lots of high level of communication. It's a very collaborative process, like Luke mentioned. I mean, there's a lot of people are talking to get through this legal process. But to answer your question directly, I believe the agreement says April. It could be extended through mutual agreement of the receiver and Pluto. And I'm not aware of a court order by which a certain date has been imposed on us.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Councillor Romero.
I actually just have a couple of follow-up questions. I was just reviewing Captain Freyr's email initially, his communication with Mr. Hendricks from your company.
Yes.
And one of the things that he brought up was the issue with propping open the back door.
That was a
the break
prior
room.
practice.
Yep. And so it just kind of says that you would kind of notify. It didn't solidify the fact that that had ceased because that.
Right, we're not
raises-
doing that. Yeah, you're not allowed to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't do that.
And then the other piece of it as well was about training staff. Employees should be trained and sign off on security policies.
Mm-hmm.
And the response says that they would require employees to train and sign off on the security policies once the ownership is complete.
That's
So I
right.
just wanted to kind of get a sense. Have they received these employees, including the new ones that you've hired, have they received any form of training, security policies?
Yeah, so they do, is the short
Mr.
answer.
D'Agostino,
I'm sorry.
I'm going to interrupt you for a minute. I apologize. By statute, we have to open our meeting at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
We will go into recess and continue.
Okay, great. Would you like us to step back or wait here?
No.
Okay.
Stand for the pledge.
The meeting of the Leominster City Council, March 23rd, is now in session. Please join us in a salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now do a roll call of the council. Councilor David Cormier.
Present.
Councilor Pauline Cormier.
Present.
Councilor Frank Ottinger.
Present.
Councilor Carrie Noseworthy.
Present?
Councilor Eladia Romero.
Present.
Councilor Susan Shalhoub-Zephyr.
Present.
Councilor Brandon Robbins.
Present.
Councilor Mark Bonanza.
Present?
And I will be recorded as present. Do we have approval of the minutes?
Madam President, we do. We have the records from February 9th, 2026, February 25th, 2026, and March 9th, 2026. I find them acceptable, and I ask that they be approved by the council.
All right. If there's no objection to doing them in block, we are going to start voting on these minutes, to accept these minutes. So all those in favor signify in the usual manner. Those opposed? One opposed. Okay, do I have a motion to recess?
Make that motion.
Councilor Cormier, do I have a second? Councilor Cormier, Councilor Cormier, Councilor Cormier. All those in favor of recess? Okay, thank you. I
Okay, I'm gonna-
apologize, thank you.
Going to call us back into the public hearing on, this is a public hearing on 40-2026. And I believe before we were interrupted, Councilor Romero, you had some questions?
Yeah, so I was just asking.
Yes, I remember the
yeah.
question. I'm happy to
Great.
answer it. Thank
Okay,
you,
thank you.
Madam Chair. So there are a couple mechanisms for training, but most specifically to answer your question, they're required by the Cannabis Control Commission to conduct responsible vendor training prior to beginning any licensed activity. So what does that mean? We could hire an employee and they can come in and do training, but they can't do any handling of marijuana product until they complete that training. So that's a Cannabis Control Commission requirement. In addition to that, that's 4 hours of training. In addition to that, there's another 4 hours of training, which includes things like security policies, so on and so forth. I think, and I don't want to speak for the police department, but I think it was more of not documenting that training. It's likely it was occurring just because of regulatory requirement, but I can't speak for the the prior operator. And so we certainly will do it. We do it now, and we will document that training as, quite frankly, you're required to do anyway. And that would be available for the police or code enforcement to review anytime they came to the store. So those are very much things that are required, just like you can't leave the back door open, things like that. That we're just, we are going to do the documentation, and we're not going to leave the door open, things like that. So I don't believe when the police asked for it, those documents were able to be provided previously, but they will be, once these guys own the business and move forward.
Exactly, in your name. Okay, and then just another follow-up question. Can you just talk a little bit about because you had mentioned that you plan to do some more marketing here to promote the business. Could you just talk a little bit about the marketing that you currently do in Lynn, what that would look like here in Leominster, if there's any plan or ideas?
Yeah, sure. So something small we do in Lynn is we put flyers in bags on oncoming promotions for the next month. It could be events like a food truck or something, but really small customer outreach in that sense.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any other questions? No other members of the council? Any questions? Okay, if you guys want to just stay put for a second, I'm going to put it out to the audience again.
Okay.
We're going to start over. Is there any members of the audience that would like to speak in favor of or against 40-26? And for a second time, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in favor of or against 40-26? And for a third and final time, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak in favor of or against 40-26? Seeing none, Madam President, I would ask that this public hearing be closed. Gentlemen, thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Are we closing the public hearing?
She just did.
So we're not, oh, okay.
I think we have,
What happens when we get the recommendations from the fire?
we have the recommendation from, oh, I'm sorry,
And planning board?
we're still waiting, so actually then I'm going to request that we keep the public hearing open until we get the other referrals back in. I didn't realize it. I understand we have Officer Freres from the police. We're still waiting on planning and fire. So I'm going to ask that the public hearing remain open.
And the Captain Frere's email, it was more, it's not, it was just essentially communication, a copy of communication with the company. So I think we still need police as well.
Okay.
Madam Chair, if I may, does that mean you won't take it up later this evening?
Right.
We won't. Okay, I just don't want to stay. As much as I enjoy spending the night with y'all.
It'll likely,
I thought you wanted to stay with us.
it'll likely be
I'll
further
do
time.
Dunkin' run, but, you know.
It'll likely be further time later.
Oh.
We have a couple of pending referrals that are still out, so until.
Understood. Okay, great. So we'll plan to monitor the agenda, and to the extent the referrals are back, we'll,
And you can check with the clerk.
Certainly.
Or contact me.
Yep.
Either way, or the chair.
great. And as soon as those come back, then the following agenda, we'll come back and.
Yeah, if all
Go
the
through.
referrals come back and they're fine, then,
Okay.
in 2 weeks.
Great. Well, thank you all for having us tonight.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Mr. Bolak, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Absolutely.
Okay, we are now going to hold a public forum. Public forum is an opportunity for any member of the audience to speak on any matter specifically listed on the council agenda. Speakers will be asked to come to the microphone, state their full name and address, along with identifying the specific items they wish to address. Each speaker is asked to keep their comments within a 2-minute period. The council will not be responding or answering any questions. However, at the discretion of the council president, clarification may be given. Okay, there is no one signed up. Is there anybody in the audience who, okay?
Good evening, Stephen Broder, 115 Day Street.
Good evening, Mr. Broder.
Good evening. I've been addressing an issue with the city of Leominster. The people involved refuse to do anything about it. The next level will affect the city of Leominster as a whole. I'd like to give you my letter of intent, and we'd like to legalitate this so it doesn't get to the next level. All I'm wanting you to do is read the letter and make your own opinions, and hopefully we can get this issue taken care of.
Thank you.
Just for the record, did this have anything to do with anything on the agenda tonight?
No, ma'am. I would like to thank the city council for their time.
Thank you, Mr. Broder. Is there anyone else in the audience that wishes to address the council? Again, is there anyone who wishes to address the council? For the third and final time, is there anyone who wishes to address the council? If not, I'll declare the public forum closed, and the council is now back in session. I'm going to go a little out of order. Before we jump right into the communications, I just want to read a letter that we got. Dear council members, thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me share my Daughters of the American Revolution Good Citizens essay. I truly appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and share my work. I would also like to sincerely apologize for arriving late to the meeting, and I appreciate your patience and willingness to still allow me to speak. Special thank you to Mrs. Frieda for inviting me to present my essay to the City Council. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Sincerely, Princess Sasu. Okay. C-54.
Madam President, I'm
Yes.
sorry, so sorry to interrupt, but we were supposed to have a public service subcommittee meeting at 6:45, and here we are now, so I'm not really sure how to proceed here.
I didn't have that.
It's not on here.
Yes, sent out.
6:15, 6:20, 6:30. Is it the pole on Pleasant Street?
Another poll.
Oh,
Okay, does the council, would council entertain a motion to go back into recess? Councilor Shalfo Zephyr? Councilor Robbins? All those in favor?
No.
Okay, the council is now in recess.
Thank you, Madam President. My name is Carrie Noseworthy. I am the Public Service Chair. This is the Public Service Subcommittee meeting of the whole. This notice of a City Council Committee of the whole meeting is posted in the event that a quorum of city councilors is present at the standing committee meeting. If less than a quorum of the city council is present, no committee of the whole meeting shall take place. If a quorum is present, any such meeting shall be restricted to the standing committee agenda items listed above. We did have just two items on the agenda, petitions 38-26 and petitions 39-26. In light of the scheduling issue.
I'm going to make a motion that we waive the readings of the
Perfect,
petition
that's what I
because
was-
we read them earlier.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to. So for petition 38-26, National Grid was not here this evening. We had several residents who had issues that we're going to have to address that. We do have a referral in for both petitions from the DPW, who do recommend their approval of both petitions, but we also have not heard yet back from the police department. So if possible, if the city clerk could reach out to LPD about both petitions 38-26 and 39-26, that would be appreciated. It would be, and I guess I have to do this separately, it would be my recommendation in light of the issues of what happened this earlier at the public hearings to recommend further time for petition 38-26. I'm joined this evening by my by at-large Councilor Zephyr, the clerk, and the third member, at-large Councilor Robbins. Do you have anything else that you would like to add to that before we take a vote? Perfect. So if somebody wants to make a motion then for giving further time to petition 38-26, and a second? Perfect. So it would be the unanimous decision of the Public Service Committee to recommend further time for petition 38-26. And for petition 39-26, similarly, National Grid was not here this evening. DPW referral came in as a positive. We're still waiting to hear back from the Leominster Police Department. It would be my recommendation that we also give further time for petition 39-26. Is there anything my other committee members would like to add?
Nope, motion for further time.
Perfect. So motion, second?
Yep.
Perfect. So then the Public Service Committee has a unanimous recommendation to give petition 39-26 further time.
Motion to adjourn.
Fantastic. Second. Committee adjourned. Thank you so much for your time, Madam President.
All right. Are we all set? Can we go back into session now?
Yes.
All right. Council is back in session. Madam Clerk, C-54.
Dean J. Mazzarella, Mayor, requests that an appropriation of $5,600 be made from the Cable Access Fund. The funds will be used to pay for upgrades to the sound system in council chambers.
C-54,
I'm
first
sorry.
time, that's all right. I was waiting.
Yes, I know you were. I'm in a fog here.
That's okay. I assume you're,
I referred it to you, yes.
thank you, Madam President. C-54, first time on the agenda, regular course, please.
I'm just going to add at this point that I got a phone call from Joe Poirier, who said the microphones are at 100%. They passed it through LTV, and they were not quite as strong as they thought they should be, so they readjusted them. He said they're all new. We should be in good shape. So shout out to Joe and to Mr. Redstone at Wavelength Studios and LTV.
Then maybe we'll pay him at the next meeting.
Yeah. They can come and get their check and we can thank them personally. Okay, recommendation on C-54 is further time.
It's regular course.
Regular course. Boy, I'm hopping tonight. All right, C-55, Madam Clerk.
Dean J. Mazzarella, Mayor, requests that an appropriation of $25,000 be made to the city solicitor expense account with the same amount to be transferred from the excess and deficiency. These funds will be used to pay bills for the remainder of the year, as well as carry over the costs for overages on the conference and legal expense line items.
Despite wanting to give Mr. Riley some money, because he's a good guy, it's the city councilor expense account, not the city solicitor expense account. You read city solicitor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I apologize.
With that notation, C-55 will be regular course as well.
Do we need to amend that?
No, it's
No,
properly,
it's
she read it
proper.
improperly.
Oh. All right. C-56.
Dean J. Mazzarella, Mayor, requests that an appropriation of $175,000 be made from the Gallagher Building Fund. The funds will be used to pay for repairs to the elevator, $90,000, and the city's portion of the lighting upgrade project, $85,000.
C-56 is referred to the Chair of Finance.
Thank you, Madam President. C-56 is regular course as well.
Okay, moving on to C-57.
Dean J. Mazzarella, Mayor, requests that an appropriation of $250,000 be made to the Capital Stabilization Fund, the same amount to be transferred from the excess and deficiency account. Undesignated fund balance. These funds shall be designated for fire capital expenditures. The fire department is in need of a new fire engine, and this allocation represents the initial step towards reserving funds for its future purchase.
Okay, C-57 is referred to the Chair of Finance.
Thank you, Madam President. Regular course, please.
We have a question from Councilor Shalva-Zephyr.
Yes, through the chair to the finance chair. Could we get an updated capital budget plan from the mayor? Because this is the initial, $250,000 is the initial step toward reserving funds. I mean, so it would be helpful to know when we're coming up with the rest of the money.
Sure, I can ask him for that.
Thank you.
Well, I did have a conversation with Jen because the clerk and I met with her, and this is specifically for, they're ordering a new fire engine, and it takes 4 or 5 years to build it.
Right.
So the intent is to put in $250,000 a year until they get to the end, and then they'll have the money to pay for the truck.
Yeah, I understand the process. That makes a lot of sense. It would be helpful to see all of these things on an extended calendar. I can't remember the last time that we actually saw, the capital plan with, 5 or 6 years or 10 years out. So that would be helpful just to have an update. Thanks.
Okay, C-57 has been given regular course. C-58.
Dean J. Mazzarella, Mayor, requests that an appropriation of $15,000 to the Johnny Appleseed Trail Association to be charged to the planning contracted services expense account with a corresponding transfer from excess and deficiency. These funds will be made to help support the information center.
C-58 is referred to the Chair of Finance.
Again, first time on the calendar, regular course, please.
C-58 has been given regular course. C-59.
Dean J. Mazzarella, Mayor, requests that an appropriation of $67,200 be made to the school department excess account, the same amount to be transferred by fiscal year '26 E-rate revenue.
C-59 is being referred to the Chair of Finance.
Thank you, Madam President. Again, first time on the calendar, regular course, please.
C-59 has been given regular course. C-60.
Dean J. Mazzarella, Mayor, requests that an appropriation of $725,156.74 be made to the sewer department outlay expense account. The same is to be transferred from the excess and deficiency account.
C-60 is referred to the Chair of Finance.
Thank you, Madam President. First time on the calendar, regular course, please.
Okay, C-60 has been given regular course. C-61.
Dean J. Mazzarella, Mayor, requests that an appropriation of $868,821.15 be made to the Water Department Capital Overlay Expense account. The same is to be transferred from the excess and deficiency account.
C-62, did I just jump a page?
161.
C-61 is referred to the Chair of Finance.
Thank you, Madam President. First time on the calendar, regular course, please.
Okay, C-61 has been given regular course. C-62.
Dean J. Mazzarella, Mayor, requests that an appropriation of $1,323,505 be made to the general fund capitals account listed below, same to be transferred from the excess and deficiency account. These funds are needed to fund the fiscal year 2026 capital requests from various departments. And this is, I just thought it would be better if you all saw it together, so I put the grid in there of where the money.
Okay, C-62 is referred to the Chair of Finance, which will probably answer some of Councilor Shalfo Zephyr's. I'm sorry.
I did have a question, Madam President, to the chair. I'm seeing this list here. It's the total request, but these other, like the request from the mayor actually kind of outline what the requests are for. This is just a list with the figures. And I'm just wondering, do we have further information or detail? Like I see the wire department, $300,000.
That's what we're talking about, getting a breakdown.
Okay.
For the next meeting.
For these, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
There'll be a subcommittee meeting where I'll ask for some additional information for backup for these, yeah.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
And C-62, first time on the calendar, Madam President, regular course, please.
C-62 has been given regular course. C-63.
Dean J. Mazzarella, Mayor, requests that an appropriation of $650,000 be made to the street resurfacing expense account, the same to be transferred from the excess and deficiency, regarding to supplement Chapter 90 funds.
C-63 is referred to the Chair of Finance.
Regular course, please.
Councilor Shalfo Zephyr?
Yeah, through the chair to the finance chair. So for this committee meeting, hopefully we'll have a list of streets.
I doubt it.
No?
I don't think so, not this early. I can ask, but I'm not optimistic we will.
Okay, well, I'd be curious where the $650,000 came from then.
Mr. Chair, I believe we just...
Just got one.
Yeah, we just got the...
I don't think that's for this money.
Okay,
I think that's for money for the prior fiscal year.
okay.
But I'll inquire.
Thank you.
And it is, but I think the principle is they try to add as much as they can to the Chapter 90 money over and above the Chapter 90 money.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a question of priorities, I suppose. But I'll inquire.
Thank you.
Okay, C-63 has been given regular course. C-64.
Dean J. Mazzarella, Mayor, requests that the property known to the assessors as map 28, lot 12, and located on Church Street, former police station, to be declared surplus so that we can proceed to sell it through the purchasing department by bid.
Okay, C64 is referred to the chair of city property, Councilor Romero. No, we're going to help you out here.
Yeah, I know. I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting that.
We will get, who's on the committee with you?
I'm the third member, I know
Yeah, I
that.
think I'm on this one.
Carrie.
Carrie,
Council knows
okay.
what.
So maybe we can rely on you, Madam Vice President, to help out through the assessor's office and get the value of the property. We need to declare it surplus in order for the mayor to be able to sell it.
Okay.
And I believe other departments in the city have to have an opportunity to purchase it if they feel a need for it.
Okay.
Not purchase it, take it over. So.
Yeah, I'm happy to speak with you about it, and as long as you tell me what needs to be done, I'll go through the process of
Well, I'm
it.
going to ask that we send a referral to the assessor's office.
Yep.
Get that information and give this regular course and give us a little bit of time to look into what they've done as to the departments.
Right. Okay, C64 has been given regular course.
Thank you.
C65.
Dean J. Mazzarella, Mayor, presented the proposed CDBG budget/action plan for the city of Leominster, year 52, and it's listed.
I'm just going to look at this for a minute because CDBG has generally been under Ways and Means.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's, so I'm going to change that to Ways and Means to Councilor Cormier.
Okay, I would like to give C-65 regular course, and I'm also going to plan on a subcommittee meeting on this and have Ellen Racine come down. She does a wonderful job explaining this every year, so we'll give it regular course, and later in the meeting we'll vote to bring her down for an explanation. Thank you.
For the newer members, CDBG is a mayor's program, and you're probably familiar with it. It's a mayor's program, and we really can't change that, but we can get information on it.
Are we asked to vote on this?
No.
We don't vote on it, just for informational purposes.
No,
We will.
We will vote on it.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
And-
This is his breakout.
Okay.
Counselor Robbins.
Just making it noted now that I'll be recusing from the Ginny's portion only of the.
We're not voting tonight. So
Just want to put it on the record now.
We got the charities as well, so.
Okay,
Yeah, Spanish American Center.
right.
Okay, C-65 has been given regular course. C-66.
Dean J. Mazzarella, Mayor, requests that an appropriation of $50,000 be made to the paramedics overtime account, the same amount to be transferred from the excess and deficiency account.
C-66 has been referred to the chair of finance.
Thank you, Madam President. First time on the calendar, regular course, please.
C-66 has been given regular course. C-67.
Dean J. Mazzarella, Mayor, requests that an appropriation of $67,000 be made to the public library's account, the same amount to be transferred from the library's state aid.
C-67 is referred to the chair of finance.
First time on the calendar, regular course, please.
C-68.
Dean J. Mazzarella, Mayor, requests that an appropriation of $8,000 be made from the Twin Cities Rail Trail lease payments account. The funds will be used to pay invoices for Delici Landscaping for maintenance of the Twin Cities Rail Trail.
C-68 is referred to the chair of finance.
Thank you, Madam President. First time on the calendar, regular course.
C-68 has been given regular course.
Madam President, C-69 I will be abstaining from. I have an immediate family member that is on the fire department.
Okay, noted. C-69 requires an emergency preamble and refer it to the chair of finance.
Yes, Madam President, thank you. Would you like me to make the case for the preamble? Because I think we need to vote that
Yes,
first,
we
right?
do. We have to vote on it.
All right, so I did have a conversation with the comptroller today about this. So to demonstrate two things. One, that it's emergent, and it truly is, because without this, we won't be able to make payroll for the fire department for a week from this Thursday. So that gives you an idea of the emergent nature of it. And I think, unfortunately, in the transition between the two chiefs, they're usually on top of this a little bit better, but it kind of got lost in the shuffle, and that's why this has happened. In addition to that, the other thing that we need to sort of make the case for is that it's relative to the health, welfare, safety of our residents. And I think with the fire department and their work, it's pretty easy to do that this is absolutely necessary for the health, welfare, and safety of our residents. So I would ask that we approve the emergency preamble portion of it.
Okay, we have a motion for an emergency preamble. Do we have a second?
Second it.
Second by Vice President Cormier. Are there any questions or comments? If not, I'm going to do this by roll call vote. Councilor Cormier?
Yay.
Councilor Iden?
Yay.
Councilor Noseworthy?
Yay.
Councilor Romero?
Yeah.
Councilor Shalfo Zephyr?
Yay.
Councilor Robbins?
Yay.
Councilor Bonanza?
Yay.
And it will be recorded as yay with one abstention. Okay, C69, referred to the Chair of Finance.
Thank you, Madam President. We have a letter from our new chief, Long, directed to the mayor. Fire department respectfully requests an appropriation of $250,000 to support overtime expenditures. Overtime incurred to date reflects standard contractual obligations, including coverage for a duty-related injury, military activations and drills, emergency route calls for residential fires, responses, and mutual aid assistance. The requested funds will continue to support these operational needs, as well as address routine staffing shortages resulting from sick leave, personal leave, and scheduled vacation time. We further request that transfer of these funds be executed at the discretion of the Comptroller's Office. Thank you for your continued support. Signed by the Chief, Chief Long. It'd be my position to recommend the granting of C69, and I'd ask you to poll my committee members.
Okay,
Councilor Shalfo and
Councilor
Councilor
Shalfo Zephyr?
I'm sorry? Oh, yes, I agree. Yep.
Okay. And who's that?
Councilor Arndinger.
Councilor Iden.
I agree.
Okay, all right. So we have unanimous recommendation from the Finance Committee. Any further questions or comments? If not, all those in favor, you signify in the usual manner. Those opposed? And the vote is 8 to 1.
8-0.
801.
801.
Would you like an order,
Just
Madam?
kick me under the...
Would you like an order, Madam President, as well?
Yes, you have an
Yeah,
order.
I do. Order that the sum of $250,000 be transferred to the Fire Department Public Safety Overtime Account. Same amount to be transferred from the Excess and Deficiency Account. Move for the adoption of the order.
Okay, we have heard the Council President, the Chair of Finance recommendation. Any questions or comments on that? If not, all those in favor, this will be a roll call vote. Councilor Cormier?
Yay.
Councilor Iden?
Yay.
Councilor Noseworthy?
Yay.
Councilor Romero?
Yay.
Councilors, you guys having snacks over there. Councilor Shalfo Zephyr?
Yay.
Councilor Robbins?
Yay.
Councilor Bonanza?
Yay.
And it will be recorded as yay. C69 has been granted. So you only had one item tonight for finance, so I hope you realize that the next meeting, you can save some of those snacks for the next meeting.
Is this going to be like grammar school when you need to share it with
Sorry.
everybody?
No, I need chocolate. I'm so sorry.
Okay. 25-26.
25-26, request to amend 22-17 as to the underlying zoning district tables of uses for the City of Leominster zoning ordinance as amended and under the business uses table of uses in the multi-use MU1 underlying zoning districts and change the use so designated as self-storage from N, not allowed, to special permit planning board SPPB, planning board special permit required. This was a request to review the status of the petition in previous public hearing and vote votes may be taken. Just to clarify, and Madam President, feel free to step in.
And would you like me to explain that? Since I
Certainly.
had the conversation with Attorney Riley.
Certainly.
This was a discussion with Attorney Avini, who, as we all know, got caught up into under two separate snow events that we had to cancel our meetings. He felt that there might be some new information that he wanted to present to the council. I kind of felt, and I spoke with Attorney Riley, kind of felt that just because he was put in such a position twice, that we probably, under an equity situation, I felt that we should at least let him come in. If the votes remain the same, they remain the same. But I feel that we should allow him to come in, present his case, and then go from there. If we do that, we would have to vote tonight to rescind our vote of the last meeting where we voted to deny this. If we choose to leave it the way it is and leave it denied, there'll be nothing more to do. But if we want to give him a chance to come in and plead his case, whatever information he has, then we would rescind the vote tonight, and then the legal notices would go back in the paper, and he'd come back with his public hearing. Did I get that right? Go ahead.
Yes. I just wanted to add, because I was part of the reason that we put it off for 2 days when the second snowstorm was coming. And unfortunately the petitioner wasn't aware that was happening. For two reasons. One, in Chapter 40A, this petition to amend the zoning ordinance, there is a public hearing required, and as practically speaking, the petitioner didn't get that. But also as sort of an equitable approach, we thought that it made sense to at least ask this council to rescind that vote, set up a new hearing with notice, et cetera, and give the petitioner, one more chance to come in and speak to you. The petition's been around for quite a while, so you all know what it's about. But just felt that was the best thing to ask the council to consider tonight.
I mean, the vote could very well stay the same at the end of the next meeting, but at least we gave him a chance to come in and speak to the issue again. But, I'll leave it up to the council, Councilor Cormier.
Do you just need a motion to rescind the
Yes, that's all we'd be doing tonight.
Well, I'll make that motion.
Okay,
I'll second it.
We have a motion to rescind, and we have a second. Any further questions or comments? If not, let's do this by roll call, just to have it on record. Councilor Cormier?
Yay.
Councilor Pauline Cormier?
Yay.
Councilor Odinger?
Yay.
Councilor Noseworthy?
Yay.
Councilor Romero?
Yay.
Councilor Shalfo Zephyr?
Yay.
Councilor Robbins?
Yay.
Councilor Bonanza?
Yay.
And I'll be recorded as yay. All right, thank you, everyone.
So-
I think it's just an issue of fairness on that.
So I'm assuming now that we're going to give 25-26 regular course and establish a public hearing,
Right.
right?
Yes, that's
Yes.
correct.
Okay. And we have no, we had our referrals back for the original, so we're not sending out any more referrals. It's just we're scheduling a public hearing.
All we need to do is public hearing, publications, legal
Okay.
notice.
Yeah, it's not starting the whole thing over from scratch, just the
Just
public
regular-
hearing.
Okay.
When are we scheduling the public hearing now?
We should.
April
Yes, we should,
13th.
right?
April 13th,
Okay.
right, at whatever time?
Yep.
Can I also just ask, the information that he wants to present, is he able to present that prior to the meeting?
Yeah. at
Prior to the public
at the
hearing?
public hearing, yeah.
And he'll just present it at the public hearing?
That we're going to schedule now, yeah.
Okay, so, all right, I was just wondering if he could provide it in advance.
Yeah, he
just to
didn't
have an
provide it because
opportunity.
he didn't know what we were going to do. I agreed after consulting
Okay.
with Councilor Riley to bring it to the council, see what we wanted to do. So it didn't make sense to have him give us information ahead of time if we were going to
Just have it at the hearing.
stay where we were.
Okay.
All right. Matters before the council. Do we have a
Well,
financial?
we need to
Sorry.
establish a public hearing.
Right, April 13th. Want to do this by roll call or?
What time?
What time?
6:30?
Do we have a time?
6:30. There's nothing on.
Nothing
that
on
date
for the
right now.
13th yet? Okay, I'll leave it up to the chair.
Can we go 6:45?
Sure. Okay, we have April 13th, 6:45. All those in favor signify in usual manner. Those opposed? All right, thank you, everybody. Now matters before the council. Financial report.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll start with the opioid stabilization fund. We began the fiscal year with a balance of $577,546. We added interest of $1,829 and another payment from the state of $159,226 for a resulting balance of $738,602. During the course of the fiscal year to date, we have spent $249,371, leaving a resulting balance of $489,230. With respect to the free cash summary, free cash was certified at $13,089,104. We have appropriated or put on our agenda for appropriation a total of $7,251,715, leaving a resulting balance, if all are approved, of $5,837,389. With respect to the capital stabilization fund activity, we began the fiscal year with $4,593,192. We added interest of $8,753. We have an appropriation before us for a fire truck payment of $250,000. I'm sorry, we have before us to transfer in from the stabilization fund a fire capital reserve payment for the fire truck of $250,000, making a new balance of $4,851,945. And then capital requests that have been paid so far this year, $2,261,190, leaving a resulting balance of $2,280,755. Last but not least, the stabilization fund activity is as follows. We began the fiscal year with $24,323,829. We accumulated interest of $338,469. We transferred from free cash $3 million with a resulting balance of $27,662,298. We've appropriated out or have pending $2,991,902, leaving a resulting balance in the stabilization account currently of $24,670,396, and that's the financial report.
That includes all the proposed transactions from tonight.
Correct.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome.
Okay, C-53.
C-53, DJ Mazzarella Mayor requests an appropriation of $10,000 be made to the landfill capping account, the same to be transferred from the excess and deficiency account. We have a letter from Michelle Powell regarding the landfill. I'm writing respectfully to request an appropriation of $10,000 for additional maintenance at the Mechanic Street landfill flare system. As you know, Woodward and Curran provides ongoing maintenance services for the flare at the Mechanic Street landfill site and conducts regular inspection visits. During a recent visit, it was determined that the condensate pump and 2 marker posts require replacement. I have attached a written explanation provided by Woodward and Curran outlining the scope of work. At this time, the landfill account has sufficient funds to cover only routine maintenance expenses through the end of the fiscal year. It does not have adequate funding available to cover the additional repair costs. For this reason, I'm requesting an additional $10,000 to complete the necessary replacements. And as Ms. Powell indicates, what they appropriate is just the amount to pay for the inspection visits that are part of a contract with Woodward and Curran. One of those inspections noted that the flare needs maintenance, needs that pump and the 2 marker posts in order to properly discharge and burn the gas, the excess gas that's being discharged from the landfill itself. The flare does in fact still work. It accumulates gas. When there's enough gas in the system, it burns it off, and it stays shut off until the gas is replenished and there's enough gas to trigger the system again. So it'd be my position, Madam President, that we approve C-53 or grant C-53. I'd ask you to check with members of my committee.
I agree.
I agree.
Unanimous recommendation.
Recommendation from the Finance Committee. Any other questions or comments? Ma'am? I'm sorry, I'm coughing, so I'm trying not to cough into my microphone. Robert keeps coming out to tell me that my mic's not on. Okay, all those in favor of granting C-53 signify in usual manner? Mr. Chairman, I have an order.
Order that sum of $10,000 be appropriated to the landfill capping account, the same amount to be transferred from the excess and deficiency account. Move for the adoption of the order.
Okay, you've heard the chair's recommendation. Any questions or comments? If not, this will be a roll call vote. Councilor Cormier?
Yay.
Councilor Cormier?
Yay.
Councilor Odinger?
Yay.
Councilor Noseworthy?
Yay.
Councilor Romero?
Yay.
Councilor Shalfo-Zephyr?
Yay.
Councilor Robbins?
Yay.
And Councilor Bedanza?
Yay.
And that would be recorded as yay. By a vote of 9-0, C-53 has been granted. 41-26, Ways and Means Chair.
I'll be abstaining, Madam President.
Okay.
Okay. 41-26, Ginny's Helping Hand Incorporated.
I'll be abstaining as well.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Okay. 41-26, Ginny's Helping Hand Incorporated, request to renew license to deal secondhand articles at 52 Mechanic Street, Leominster, Mass. Had a quick subcommittee meeting this evening at 6:10 p.m. We are still waiting for a recommendation from the police department. Is that correct, Madam Clerk? You've heard nothing today?
Correct.
Okay, so I will ask Madam Clerk to follow up with them again. They have 3 weeks to get us one. Our next meeting will be April 13th. Until then, for now, I'd like to give 41-26 further time. That's what we agreed upon on our subcommittee. Madam President?
Okay, you heard the chairman's recommendation for further time. Any other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor signify in usual manner. Those opposed? Okay, by a vote of 7-0 with 2 abstentions. 41-26 has been given further time. Moving on to legal affairs. Is the chair ready?
Thank you, Madam President. 37-26, Carrie Noseworthy, Ward 5 Councilor, requests that the City Council adopt the following policy and establish a Human Rights Commission for the City of Leominster. We had a subcommittee hearing on this last week, and after hearing testimony and taking and getting some information from the petitioner and the other councilors, it was the position of the Legal Affairs Committee to not grant 37-26.
And also Ways and Means, we had a joint subcommittee meeting with Legal Affairs, and although it was not unanimous, but it was the recommendation for Ways and Means to give 37-26 leave to withdraw without prejudice.
Okay, we'll do legal affairs first. Are there any other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor of you looking to give this leave to withdraw or to deny?
Leave to withdraw, I'm sorry.
Leave to withdraw.
Yes.
Recommendations, leave to withdraw?
It is.
Any other questions or comments? If not, Councilor Noseworthy.
I do have 7 emails that if I can give to the clerk, if she could maybe scan and add those to the record. And I do want to say that 2 of them were from high school students, and I appreciate them sharing their voices. I would also like to briefly say that I was going to speak a little bit tonight about some corrections of the record on my part, as I was not kind of given time to finish things up last Thursday. I've decided not to delve into that, except to say that I understand that it can be difficult for subcommittee meetings, and I am a newer counselor, but it would be appreciated if something is shared and allowed to be stated during a subcommittee meeting, that the petitioner have the time to address those concerns. Thank you.
Just in spirit of fairness, I think there was, the dialogue went on for quite some time back and forth. So I think everybody had adequate time to speak. So
Madam Chair,
I'm just, that's all I'm adding to that. It was a long time, so I just wanted to make sure that that was, you weren't cut off. I don't want to give anybody the impression that you didn't have a chance to speak.
Oh, Madam Chair, I respectfully disagree, and I think
Okay.
anybody that
So you
watched the meeting...
disagree, but that's, I'm just making that point.
And now you're doing it again, Madam Chair.
All right.
So I would just like to finish and say that I understand that subcommittee meetings are not city council meetings. I'm just asking, especially when someone is a petitioner, if someone is given time to speak, that the petitioner be given time to respond to that. Thank you.
Councilor Shalhoub-Zephyr.
Yeah. I understand, having sat through many council meetings and committee meetings over the years, that committee meetings can drag on. Everybody's tired. People are sick and tired of, listening. But unfortunately, that's our job. So, and I'll just say that. I think everybody deserves to be heard. I think, whether or not people are tired and want to move on, that's too bad. People have stuff. It's important for people to say what is on their mind and say what their positions are. And then furthermore, I think we're really missing the boat on this petition. I know that there's some, some questions and concerns about, language or how it was crafted or whatever, but I looked at it again as a working document and as an initial proposal that a working group could have, taken over and worked within the community to make something that was, truly something that Leominster residents and people could be really proud of and enthused about, joining and working with. So I do not support either the Ways and Means Committee or the Legal Affairs Committee in giving this leave to withdraw without prejudice. I think it's, I think it's just unfortunate, and so I won't be supporting that.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Can I do want to just say more on this, because the Human Rights Commission is something that I believe strongly in. And first, I want to take this opportunity, while yes, I do support the recommendation, I also support having a Human Rights Commission. It's about just ensuring that we get it right. But I want to take the opportunity to also thank the Ward 5 councilor for taking this initiative and for bringing this discussion to light, because it is an important conversation, one that does need to be had in our community. And I am fully committed to working with my fellow city councilors and representatives from the community to develop a Human Rights Commission that reflects the needs, the voices, and the values of Leominster. I believe it would be very valuable to our city, and I want to work collaboratively on this. So again, while I cannot support this particular petition, I still do support the concept of us having a Human Rights Commission, and would like to work collaboratively with my colleagues on, putting something together along with the community in the future.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, and I do agree. I don't think there was anybody on this council that didn't think we should have a Human Rights Commission. I think it was the wording. I think it was the way it was presented. I don't think there was any intent of not having one. So I still believe, and I said it from the beginning, that I think this should be with the public first, and then bring it to the council after all the involved people get together and sit around the table and talk to each other and present something at that point. So with that, I'll go back to you, Madam Chair.
No, my recommendation, and it's the recommendation of the Legal Affairs, to give this petition leave to withdraw without prejudice.
Okay. You've heard the recommendation. All those in favor signify in the usual manner. Those opposed? 3.
Madam President, just a point of order, do we need to vote the Ways and Means recommendation as well?
Yes, we do. I'm sorry.
And Ways and Means is also recommendation to give leave to withdraw without prejudice.
Okay, for the Ways and Means recommendation, any other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor signify in the usual manner. Those opposed? Okay, now there's 6-3. Okay. Moving on to 40-26.
40-26, Pluto Cannabis Company Outlet Pluto Cannabis seeks a special permit from the Leominster City Council to assume operational control of the existing operational adult-use marijuana establishment at 130 Pioneer Drive, currently operated by Revolutionary Clinics, in accordance with the City of Leominster Zoning Ordinance, Chapter 22, Article 18, Marijuana Facilities, Section 22-105. We had a public hearing earlier this evening. It would be my position to give this matter further time. We have some outstanding referrals, so perhaps we can send another reminder to the police department, the fire department, and the planning board, and have this on for our next meeting.
Yes. Okay. You've heard the recommendation of the Legal Affairs Committee. Any questions or comments? If not, all those in favor of further time signify in the usual manner. Those opposed? Councilor Shalfo-Zephyr, you, by a vote of 9-0, further time.
And I will be abstaining from 38-26. It is partially owned by my employer.
Okay. 38-26 is referred to the Chair of Public Service.
Thank you, Madam President. So petition 38-26, earlier we had a public hearing. National Grid was not present, but there were several residents and constituents with concerns, and obviously National Grid was not here to address those concerns. We do have a favorable recommendation from the DPW, but we still haven't heard back from the Leominster Police Department. So we had asked the clerk if she could reach out to LPD and get a response from them. And in our subcommittee meeting, we had a unanimous recommendation to give petition 38-26 further time.
Okay, you've heard the chair's recommendation. Any questions or comments? If not, all those in favor of further time signify in the usual manner. Those opposed, by a vote of 8-1.
8-0-1.
8-0.
Yeah.
8-0-1.
801, yeah.
The box score.
Glad it's not a math test tonight. 39-26, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam President. Similarly, petition 39-26, we had a public hearing earlier this evening, and although there were no residents, unfortunately, National Grid also wasn't present again. We do have a favorable recommendation from the DPW, but haven't heard back yet from Leominster Police Department. The clerk will be reaching out to see if we can get a recommendation from them. We similarly spoke about this petition in our subcommittee meeting and have a unanimous recommendation to give petition 39-26 further time.
Okay, you've heard the chair's recommendation for further time on 39-26. Any questions or comments? If not, all those in favor signify in the usual manner. Those opposed, by a vote of 9-0. Recommendations for further time.
Madam President, if I may, can we go back to the previous petition? Two previous, 40-26. We gave it further time. Did we give a date and time that we continuing the public hearing to? I don't think we did for the cannabis.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we need to vote on a date and time to continue that to
If we're going to do it at the next meeting.
April 13th. Probably, the other one was
What is
6:45.
6:45.
So this one might be 6:30? 6:30, and we need to
That
vote
work
on
for you,
that.
Madam Chair?
That's fine. 6:30, 6:35, I think we can go to.
6:35?
Yeah,
You don't think they'll need more time than that, then?
I don't
All
think so.
right, all right.
Madam President, along those lines, I realize I kept the public hearings open for both petition 38-26 as well as 39-26. So we would need to,
Oh, date and times for those
date
as well.
times for those as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll be short.
Okay, so we're back to April 13th on those two as well. Well, let's vote on this one first.
Yep.
Okay, 40-26. All those in favor of a hearing on April 13th at 6:35 signify in the usual manner. Okay. 38-26. We'll do April 13th. Why don't we do 6:20?
Yep.
It's 6:20. All those in favor of April 13th hearing at 6:20 signify in usual manner
I'm abstaining.
with one abstention. We had one more, right?
39-26.
39-26. And we'll do that one at
6:25.
6:25?
Yep.
Okay, all those in favor of April 13th at 6:25 signify in the usual manner. Those opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. Okay. We done on all those now?
Yes.
All right. Now we're into new business.
Madam President, I was just inquiring of this city solicitor whether the legal affairs chairwoman could avoid reading this entire ordinance for the sake of brevity.
Oh,
Maybe she wants to read it.
That's up to her.
That'll be your choice, Madam Chair.
I
3-26, first reading of an ordinance.
would prefer not to have to read the entire ordinance, and if we have the approval of our, of Attorney Riley here, that doesn't all need to be read in, I think we can.
So approved.
Thank you. So this is 3-26, Glenn Eaton, Executive Director, Montechusett Regional Planning Commission. Request to amend the zoning ordinances to replace Article 15, accessory apartments, with a new Article 15 that complies with recently passed state law and make other changes to implement the new ordinance. We have the ordinance in front of us. It's in proper ordinance form. It's been reviewed. The changes that we wanted to implement have been implemented. I have reviewed it, and I find it to be in good order, and it would be my recommendation that we adopt the first reading of the ordinance, and I would ask you to check with the other members of my committee.
All right. Councilor Romero?
Agree. Yes.
Okay. Councilor David Cormier?
I also agree.
All right, so it's a unanimous decision to adopt the first reading of the ordinance for 3-26. Any questions or comments? If not, this will be a roll call vote. Councilor Cormier?
Yay.
Council Vice President Cormier?
Yay.
Councilor Odinger?
Yay.
Councilor Noseworthy?
Yay.
Councilor Romero?
Yay.
Councilor Shalfo Zephyr?
Yay.
Councilor Robbins?
Yay.
Councilor Bedanza?
Yay.
And I will be recorded as yay as well, by a vote of 9-0 first reading of the ordinance is adopted.
Madam President, if I may, I'd like to ask that we take a vote to ask Ellen Racine to come down to explain the CDBG funding. I would like to set up a subcommittee meeting possibly for April 13th, well prior to when our hearings begin. Maybe, I hate to do this, but maybe even like 5:30 or 5:45. I can work with her, make sure that night works, but we'll invite her to come down sometime between, next week and April 13th on a night that works, but right now I'm looking at April 13th, so.
Okay. I just will throw out, I got a call from Scott at LTV, and he has requested that we not have any subcommittee meetings on Thursday. It's the only night he's shorthanded, so he said Tuesday or Wednesday, if it can be preferred. He would appreciate that. So I told him that we were going to try to put a schedule together, either the second Tuesday or the second Wednesday. And I'm going to ask the clerk as well to send a letter out to the department heads and say when they requested a referral at the end of a meeting, that they get back to us as best they can within a 2-week period. So we're not giving everything further time. It's not fair to the applicants sometimes, when we're waiting for these referrals back. So we can do that. That would be good. So, Councilor Shelf, is that
A vote, just
I'm
before,
sorry.
just if we can take a
you want
vote for Phil and Racine, so, yeah, just a
You think we
vote.
need to do that? Okay.
Yeah, it might be more formal, yeah,
All right.
if we could.
Okay, we have a motion to have Ellen Racine come in from CDBG
Second.
Before the next meeting.
for the next meeting.
Yep.
And Councilor Robbins seconded. Any questions or comments? All those in favor signify in usual manner. All right, so the clerk will get in touch with Ellen. Councilor Shelby-Zephyr.
Right. I have a question. I just want to go back to C58. So this is a question through the chair to the finance chair. This is a request for an appropriation of $15,000 to the Johnny Appleseed Trail Association to be charged to the planning contracted services expense account. So my question is, this is $15,000. The city in prior years has had a line item dedicated to the Johnny Appleseed Highway Store rest stop. And my question is this part of that ongoing line item, or is this in addition to for something specific?
Looks like it's additional.
I have no idea, but I will find out.
Thank you.
It's usually been about 35,000, I think.
I don't think we've always made it either. So I will get some answers for that.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, I just want to refer back to C55 for a minute, too. The request, $25,000. The clerk and I had to meet with Jen because our legal fund was depleted. We had no money in there at all. We've had a lot of things between the two high-profile zoning ordinances, and we had a personnel issue, and we've had a lot of meetings. So we've had a lot of interaction with KP Law. So the $25,000 being put in is hopefully going to last us till the end of the year. I'm trying to arrange it with the clerk so that we can coordinate whatever comes to for a request to go on to the agenda. That if there's something that we feel might require the attorney's input, that we do it at one particular meeting so we can have him here once a month. But we're also going to have no more individual counselors contacting Attorney Riley, and I spoke about this. It'll go through the clerk. Nobody will be refused a response, but some things we've done before. Instead of reinventing the wheel, the clerk can be researching it, and not Attorney Riley and spending the money. Not that we don't want you to have it, but spending the money. So from now on, any requests for the attorney will go to the clerk, and if there's something on record, she'll get back to whoever is requesting it, If not, then we'll forward it to Attorney Riley and go from there. That work? Okay, any questions or comments? I'm sorry, go ahead.
The meeting that we had, and we discussed this in the meeting we had with Jen, that number that we're asked, well, that's being presented to the council is not only just for KP Law, it also affects the ads that I put in for all the legal notices and all the abutters. Even though that money comes back, I have to pay for that ahead of time. And this is how I found out about this, because I went to pay an ad and I couldn't pay it. But my checkbook said I could. So that's, just so you have better clear.
Okay. All right, so, I mean, I'm sure if something comes up and we need assistance, we can go back to the well, but we don't want to do that if we certainly don't want to do that. So, all right, any other old business to come before us?
Nope.
Anything on a community calendar?
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn. Do I
I'll
have a
second it. I'll second.
Councilor Shelf is ever, you're slow at the wheel tonight. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. We have a motion, a second to adjourn. All those in favor signify in usual manner. Those opposed? All right, thanks, everybody.
Those never get in position.
Opposed that.
I might sometime.
Oh, don't forget Thursday.